guys? Welcome to the stream. I hope I don't have any double sound today and everything is just clicking. Let me know if it's not. I'll just give people a minute or two more to join in while we get settled. And make sure you have Blender open and you're ready to go. It's good, thank you. Awesome, guys. My name is Oliver, 4th semester student here at CADA. I say it every week for those of you who have been here before. Sorry, not sorry. And yeah, I'm going to be teaching you some modeling today. We're going to start super slow. Just get used to the viewport, just, you know, what to do. And then I hope we're going to make something that's actually really cool. Because I hope it's simpler than it looks. So fingers crossed. Hey Lena, hey Catherine, good to see you guys. For those of you who are new, if you want, you can give us a little holler in the chat. It's nice to know if there's new people. Also, so I know if I have to, you know, be a bit more, what's the word? A bit more gentle. And you know, not go too fast. Because the deal is that you guys tell me if it's too fast or not. Because I want everybody to follow along. I want everybody to get something done. And hopefully share it with the rest on our Discord here. So that's the game plan for today. That we get everybody through so they can at least show that they made something that looks like what we want. And then we post it here, and then I give you guys feedback, and you can, you know, say if something was wrong or hard or etc. So please, please, please write me in the chat if you need anything. I'm here for that purpose. All right. Newbie here. Welcome. And thank you, Renan. Oh, it's a whole group of people. Okay, awesome. Well, then you guys can have a little friendly competition of who can suck up the most to the teacher. Green as it gets. Okay, so it's okay if you haven't never opened the program. The plan is to just follow along, and then you might not get everything that you do, but as long as you get it done, you will learn it over time. Okay, so you have Blender here. I'll just turn on my screencast keys so you can see what I'm clicking here. So if something is, you know, you miss it, or you want to go back in the lesson and re-watch it, you can always see what I've been clicking. You can see my right click here, or if I click shift. Okay, so to navigate, I'm going to go over that really fast. Hold middle mouse button. If you don't have a mouse, get a mouse. It's horrible to do 3D without a mouse. Otherwise, you can left click here in the corner and rotate around. It does the same as middle mouse. Next up, to pan around. If you want to look at the same thing from the side, you hold shift and middle mouse drag. And don't worry if this is confusing. It's gonna be second nature. I work in, I don't know, 8 different programs, and they all have different ways to navigate. And now it only takes like 2 or 3 minutes to get used to each one, and then it just works. So don't get flustered. Okay, shift the middle mouse to pan, or the little hand here does the same with left mouse. Really hated it, yeah. Especially going from ZBrush to Maya or ZBrush to Blender or something is, you know, it's just screwing with me. Lastly, we can zoom in out by rolling our scroll wheel or holding control and using the scroll wheel, a middle mouse. Alright, so control, middle mouse to zoom, shift middle mouse to pan, or middle mouse to rotate, or these 3 up here. Okay, super simple. Next up, you might have a cube here, like so. Let us delete it. So you just click delete or X. And you can also roll the middle mouse if you want. You just don't hold control then. Otherwise you hold control and then you hold it. Yes, so you can do both. Yeah, if you have the cube deleted, just the X or delete. And we're gonna make a new cube. And in Blender, or in many free softwares, there is a bunch of hotkeys, and we want to use them as much as possible because that optimizes our workflow. Things go a lot smoother and faster. So the first time here, I'm just gonna show where it is. You have a button up here called Add, where you have a bunch of things. Don't get overwhelmed. We're only gonna use one today. Super simple. So maybe two. We'll see. But first, you will go to Mesh, and you will go to Cube, and you will left click and spawn a cube. All right, let's delete that one as well. And let's try with the hotkey. And if you hover Add, you can see that the hotkey or shortcut is Shift A. So let's do that. Hold Shift, click A, and you got the same menu. Super easy, super fast. And let's add a cube again. And right off the bat, you can see that we have a lot of things we can change. We can change the size, we can change the location. With the cube, I rarely use these things. However, if we make something like, let's say, a cylinder, you can see there's a bunch of edges, we call them, lines here, which is the amount of vertices. And you cannot change this very well later. So for the cylinder, you wanna do this. I don't have that info panel. You don't have the add button up here. So you should have object mode, view, select add, and then you can click add and it should drop down. And that is the same as Shift A. And the info panel might be down here when you make something, if this is what you mean. So it can be like bottom left. Yes, exactly. Cool. So this is where you I can show you edit mode. No, the problem is, as soon as I go into edit mode, it's not gonna be very visible. I can turn off the wireframe. Okay, so right now you see it's gone, and I believe there is some shortcut to bring it back. I don't remember which one it is, or maybe it doesn't even work unless I put it on. So if you want to change something like a cylinder, you do it. You do it right away. You see, change here. Otherwise, you can just change it in the viewport. Okay, cool. Now make a cube. Shift A, Mesh, Cube, and let's start here because we're also going to use a cube a lot today. So the first thing we need to do is we need to manipulate it in the world space. That means in the viewport, in the program where it is. So I can move it over here by clicking G for grab. If you are my user, you might want to use a gizmo, which you find up here, and you can turn it on, and then you can drag it like so. So this is essentially the same as clicking G. And if you want to move along the green axis here, you can click Y as well, and it's gonna lock it. You can see it highlights. It's the same if I click this. And remember, Control Z as in any other program if you want to redo whatever you just did. If I just move it like this, you can see it's not locking it anywhere. It's just moving it according to my view, which can be useful sometimes, but most of the time it's not. So usually that's why my users like this, because it's always locked to a certain axis. In Blender, I do like to use the hotkey G and X, G and Y, or G and Z. So just click them, you don't have to hold them. You can bring the arrows forth up here, gizmo, and move. But yeah, unless you are like a hardcore believer of it, I would just learn the hotkey G. So, but maybe it'll help you visually at least. The next thing we can do is we can rotate. So that is R. And don't worry, guys, I'm gonna say it the whole class. So every time I click G, I'm gonna say G to grab and Y, and you can just repeat on your keyboard what I say. So R to rotate, Again, if you just rotate it, it's going to rotate along your view. But you can also lock it this. So if you click R to rotate and X, it's going to lock it like there's a pin in the middle, and it's going to rotate around the X. Oh, and by the way, if something you don't want, you can right click to deny it, and you left click to accept it. Good to know. So again, R and Y to log it here. You can just click X to log it here instead, or Z. And in the start, you're going to be looking, you see I still do it sometimes. I look at my keyboard to see where they are, so I can actually find the right one. Yeah, so G to grab, R to rotate. Last one we have is S for scale. It's this guy. Make it bigger, make it smaller. This can also be locked, so S and Y, X or Z. So it's a lot of the same, you just use different hotkeys. And these you can also see up here if you want to. If you want to use the gizmo, but don't do that, I would say. Okay, so that's the basics. That's what you need to manipulate something. Now I can show you guys what I planned, because first we talked about some furniture or I was playing around with the hammer, but I found something even cooler. I thought making a pool table could be really cool, because there's a lot of things we can do on it, but it's actually not that difficult if you break it down. Well, some of it is more difficult than other things, but I accidentally made my cube transparent. You might have clicked where is it? Is it this one? Or is it? You might have clicked on the wireframe up here, like this. So instead you go to the solid view. That's probably it. Or you maybe clicked on the X-ray. So turn that off and go to the solid. That should fix it. Let me know if it doesn't. Of course. Okay, so a pool table. So whenever you model something or you make anything in 3D, you want to have a reference, usually, and you want to see how it's constructed in order to do it yourself. So this looks, at the first glance, like a lot. Hey Billis, welcome to the stream. There's a lot of holes, there's a lot of dents, etc, etc. But if we really break it down, it's basically a plane here, and it's a cube with some beveled, it's called beveled edges here, and some beveled edges up here. And then we have some cubes here, I would say, that are going down. And that is the base of it. And that's what we're going to focus on doing today. If we have time and it looks good, we're going to try to make some more details. We can maybe add the balls. That should be super easy and fast. But yeah, that is our plan for today. So you guys should Google pool table and have that as a reference on a second screen, or you can also make it small and put it here and make Blender smaller, or just bring it up from once in a while. I'm going to do that myself, I think. Yeah, so sometimes I like to do a reference where it's in the back, and I try to make it fit exactly that reference, especially if I have a scene I need to populate with multiple objects. But today I'm just gonna wing it a bit. It's also gonna be easier for you guys. So what I want to start with is I want to start with the big shape here, the box, the wood. So I want to click on my cube. I want to click G to grab, Z to move it up, and I want to move it around here. Okay, just doesn't matter how high. You can also just leave it, but it's just to have this as our ground level. Next up, I'm gonna scale it because it is longer than it is wide. So S and Y, as you can see over here, and I'm gonna scale it like so, and S and X, something like this. Maybe a bit wider, S and X again, something like this. That's not too bad. Okay. Next up, You can see the top is going more out than the bottom. So we need a way to manipulate only the top of the box. And how do we do that? Well, we need to go into what is called edit mode, where we can edit the individual parts of the mesh. So you click on your cube, you go up to object mode, and you change it to edit mode. We also have a hotkey here. It is tab. Same as when you want to skip, a line. So tab, so it's highlighted like this, and you can see the lines on your cube. And we have three modes here. It's not as overwhelming as it sounds, because you can see them up here. First, we have the vertex select mode, which is this one. It's all the dot. Then we have the edge, and we have the face. Hotkeys for those are 1, 2, 3. And if you can't remember which one it is, it's okay, because it's going to highlight whatever you select, and you're not in doubt what it is you have selected. So, a vertex, or vertex, I actually don't know what it is called. It is the middle point of 2 or more lines, usually 3 actually, or edges we call them. The edges are, the edges, the corner, the sharp lines that go between 2 vertex. And if we click 3, we have the faces, which are made of at least 3 vertices. So you could have do this, and this would still be 2 faces. It's just a triangle, and this is what we call a quad. I don't remember what the long word is for it, but if anyone knows, you can tell me. But these are quads because they are comprised of 4 edges. Okay, so super easy. You can actually select whatever you want in most cases. If we want to move everything, we can go to vertex select by 1, edge, or face. It's all gonna select the same. So when you click S to scale, it will scale. And if you think it should scale a bit more on one axis, you can always go in S and X and do like this. And now look at my reference, and I actually did it too much. So just something like this. Alrighty. Then we need to think a bit, because we have the oval shape, but it looks kind of wonky. So let us start to create a bevel, it's called. Here it has like a nice little line here. We can add that later if we want to. So for now, let's just do this one big mesh. It's gonna be easier for you guys. So you need to click 2 on your keyboard. So you have this highlighted, the edge select mode. Then you want to click on this edge, hold shift, click on the next one, hold shift, and hold shift, and you can select all of them. All right. So you want to have all 4 vertical edges selected. Once you've done that, you hold Control and you click B to bevel. Okay, and that is also found up here under the edge menu, where you have a lot of things you can do with edges, and the one we just use is Control B, bevel edges. And right now mine is doing this. And I'll just reset it so it's going to look like yours. So yours should look something like this. Control B. And this is a bevel. It technically just divides the mesh and it tries to smooth out the corner. So before you click anything, you can use your scroll wheel to increase the number. And you might be tempted to just, scroll a lot because, oh, it's smoother, it's so much nicer. But don't do that, because it's gonna add a lot of extra geometry, which is not good for now. You can always add it later if you want to. So we just want a nice shape. So I would say like, I don't know, 3 should be enough, 4 maybe. Like this. Should actually be good enough. And let me see if I can. Let me just test something. before you do that, we had a problem before because it's going more, you know, on the wide way than on the narrow. It's called the thick way. It's beveling more here than the other side. So we have to go out of edit mode first. So just click up here and go to object mode, or click tab. Then we need to do something. We need to tell it that it is no longer scaled. It doesn't have scale values, because if you go to your object here or click N, you can see that you have some values here, which are, because we scale it. You can see if I change them, it's going to scale it even more. And that's messing up with our bevel, which is super annoying. So what we need to do is we need to apply our transformations so everything is reset to 1 or 0 or the default. It might sound confusing, and it is in the start a lot, but just notice what happens with these numbers when we do it. So we need to click Control and A to apply, and we're just going to select all transforms. And bam, you can see I'm going to redo it. Notice it's 3.6 here, for me at least. And now it's 1. And what you can also see is that this pivot snaps. The orange dot snaps down here. Don't worry about it too much. It just means that when I click tab to go back into edit mode, I can now bevel nicely. Like so. So you guys do that, go into object mode, Control A, all transforms, go back into edit mode, and do the bevel as you like. I'm gonna give you guys like 30 more seconds to do that. And if anyone is not up to speed, now is the time to tell me, because this is the base. Repeat what I did on the scale thing, of course. So I'm going to redo. We were about to bevel, like so, but it's not doing what we want. So I go to object mode up here. It says object mode. I click on my cube, and I click Control and A, and you can see we get a little box here called apply. And if I only apply location, I can do that as well. That's going to reset these numbers, and you don't have to worry too much about what it is, but just use all transforms, then you are sure. So all transforms applied. We go back to edit mode, and if they're not selected, you select all your edges again and Control B until you have a nice bevel. Again, you can scroll wheel if you want to change it. Okay, did it make sense? Well, did you get to do it at least? Don't worry if it does make sense. It took me a while to get it. Awesome, great. Let's go back to our reference. We have a decent shape now for this main box here. So what I want to do now is I want to create this top part here, because I could do it in one, but it's super messy sometimes to make everything within one object. And I cannot show you why right now, because that's gonna be a pain for everybody. So just trust me on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate what we have and reuse that. That's a lot easier. And we're just gonna put it on top so it looks like they are together. So click on your cube. We can call this, if you see up here, you have what is called the outliner. And you can change the name by double clicking, and let's say table main, whatever you think makes sense to you. Doesn't really matter. Then I'm gonna click Shift and D to duplicate. You can see I get a new duplicate here. But what I want to do is I want to lock it so it gets perfectly centered up top. So I want to click Set. So again, Shift D and Set. Move it up like so. I want to scale it on the Z-axis as well. And this is actually what happens because we did the what's it called? The apply to scale thing. So we can do it a little bit differently. Instead of doing it in the object mode, you can do it in the edit mode by clicking tab. And if you select, go to 1, select all the vertices and make sure you have them all selected at the top. You can click G and Z, and it does the same. And you can't really see it now. So if you want to see what's happening, you can go to the X-ray, the one one of you accidentally put on earlier. And you can see I just G and Z, moved it down here. And then I want to click S to scale it, so it's not going out too much. Okay, G and Z for the top vertices, and just S to scale to bring them in. And now I can click tab again to go back to object mode, G and Z to move it up, and also can't select anymore. Are you sure you're in edit mode and not in object mode? And are you sure you clicked the one you want to use and then went to edit mode and then selected? So when you click on anything, nothing happens, because it shouldn't have worked for this one. You can see I can't select this one, but I can select the top one. So whatever you select is the one that is the one that you can work on. Can make a selection box. You might have clicked the W. So try clicking W until this guy appears. So it's a select box. So you might have, done like this. Great. I do that all the time. In Maya, when you want to move something, it's not G, it's W to move, and I click it constantly. Good, great. Next up, I want to go out of this X-ray mode. It's a bit annoying right now, and I want this to be bigger than this part. So I'm gonna click S to scale in edit mode, because right now again it's moving weirdly. Or we can also do that. We can also go to, might confuse you guys now, but I can show you what is happening. So right now, this is our new pivot point. Pivot point means that's where the object rotates around. So if I rotate, you can see it's going to rotate around that little guy, or scale according to that. But we can reset our pivot point to hit the center of our mesh or box by going up to object, set origin. Again, this is the origin of our object we want to change. And if you set it to geometry, you can see it snaps to the center of our mass. And if I click scale now, it's going to work properly. And I get something like this. And then I want to make sure that it's somewhat the same all over. So here you can see I want to scale it a bit along the x-axis as well. So set an X and just double checking, and this looks really well actually. This is super good. And you should have two boxes. Which part of it? The pivot. I can show it on this guy. So right now this box here, if I click it in object mode, make sure you're in that, you can see its pivot is right here. It's also called the origin. Great. And that is because we did the Control A, all transforms. It snaps down here, which is fine. We can always set it back by click on object, go to object, set origin, and you have different options. Usually we just use origin to geometry, because then it snaps to the center. You don't have to worry too much about what you can do with the pivot otherwise, but just know that you can set it to the origin, or you can again Control A apply all transforms and snap it back to the world origin. So you can change where you pivoted from. Okay. So now you can, again, G and Z, or scale where it is instead of scaling it from down here, which is super annoying. When you see ZBrush, I get crazy now with, yeah, tell me about it. I had to help someone from the class below yesterday, and I could navigate. She had to navigate while I told her what to do, because I know the functions in ZBrush, I just can't, you know, and her pen was not set up correctly either, so I gave up on moving around in that shit show. It's a good software, but it's just different than everything else. All right, cool. What we need to do now is we need to fix what's going on here, because right now we just have a, you know, when a pool table is not being used, you should put like a, you know, piece of wood over it so you can use it as a table. That's kind of what we have right now, and we don't want that. So let's go into edit mode. Let's click 3 on our keyboard so we can go to face select and select the middle face here. Not this one or this one, but this one. And I'm going to show you guys a new tool that we use all the time, which is called an extrude. And we're going to use like a different kind of extrude, but it's the same. So extrude, what that does, it creates extra geometry like this and pulls out the mesh. It extrudes it, basically. So be careful when you do that, because if you do it and you just click right click, it's going to create the mesh anyway, and you're going to have some issues there. The top form is still wider at the top than at the bottom. That's good. That's what we want. We want it to be a bit wider. Our reference is a bit like that. But if you want to change it, you can always scale it a bit more, like so, if you think that looks better. I think I'm going to stick, well, maybe I'm going to do that as well, actually. It doesn't have to look perfect. We're just going for the overall shape and look. So don't worry about it too much. But yeah, we want to extrude. Yeah, the top form is wider above than at the bottom. That's good. It's wider above here than at the bottom. Good. That's exciting. Either you're writing it confusingly, or you're confused about it whether it's right, because it is right. If it looks something like this where it's bigger here, it's good. Shape one of 2 cubes. You didn't get the bevel to work? If I'm going too fast, you should tell me, guys. Don't worry. Well, you can always go over it again, of course, if you want to see rewatch the video. But you can still even yeah, you keep saying the same thing, and I keep saying that it is correct if the top form, not the body form. This is the top, right? It's wider at the top than is the bottom. So it's like this. Or whatever. That's good. If you don't like it, select the top face here. Click S and scale it in. Or more out. That's up to you. You just click 3 on your keyboard. Click on the face. Make sure you're in edit mode as well. Edit mode. This button here. Click on the face. And you click S to scale. And you can do however you want. And if you think if it goes too much in at this end, you can always click S and then either Y or S and X, or S and X to make it match. But again, don't worry too much about the shape, guys. And if you want to have a cube, the most important thing is that you know, get going. Because you can always, you know, go back and rewatch it. But the more stuff you get shown, the better it is. Because I want to show you more tips, more stuff you can use, and then you can put it all together to do more things yourself. So yeah, if you want to have a cube, use that. It's still gonna, you know, have the same right shape, hopefully. Just not as nice, I would say. Cool. I hope that worked with the top. Again, if it's like this, it's fine. Don't worry about it too much. But again, you can click on the top and you can scale it. And now we want to use the top here, and we want to extrude that, but inwards. Good to hear. So instead of clicking E to extrude, you can click I to insert, and you can always see we're getting kind of the shape we want. So this is actually pretty good, I would say. Again, I to insert, and then you just drag it to where you want it to be. Wait. I think something like this for me. And when you've done that, you want to click E to extrude. And let's just go down to right before it goes under the other guy here. Something like this. So now we have something that looks a bit like something. Next up, these are usually not flat. Usually it goes, you know, like this. But Control Z, they have a little, I don't know if you can see it here. They have a little thickness to them here, and then they go in. So what we want to do, the top is still solid, I think. Well, if you click on this with click edit mode and 3 on your keyboard, so you have this highlighted, left click on your top and click I for insert. You can also find it up here, insert faces. Then you can drag it. And it should not be, it should move in like this. And then when we want to extrude it, we want to extrude it 2 times actually. So not one. The first one is gonna be, you know, the what's it called? The thickness of the edge, so it's not gonna be so sharp. And the second one, remove. Again, I just click E again on my keyboard to extrude. You can see every time I do it, it's gonna create a new line here, right? So don't have that many. Just want 2. Gonna move it there, again E, and something like this. And then I want to again use my S for scale to move it outwards a bit. And not too much, so I think I want to change my Y, which is the length of it, to a bit thinner. And I think this looks kind of good actually. Now we're talking. I think this is kind of good. Now I might run into a problem here because do it again from the edge. Like this part here. And you just again select this as you want to. You click I to insert this way, so it goes inwards. And you click E to extrude it upwards or downwards. So you just get the shape you want. So you get this round shape with the I, and then you click E to move it down. And if you want to do it again, like I did, you click E one more time, so you have a double line here. And then you click S to scale. So you get this nice looking thing. I do regret a bit what I've done, actually. Let me just think about it for a second. Because what I really wanted was, let me show you guys. While you guys fix it, I'm just gonna show something else that you don't have to follow. So don't follow what I'm doing here. want to show what my initial idea was and why I might have to redo it. So let's say this is my top, and I'm gonna do the same. Now you can see the same thing if with the box. So I'm gonna I to insert, something like this. And if I don't like the dimension, I can click S to scale and change the Y or S and X to get the shape that I want. Then I click E to extrude until just, you know, for the edge here. And one more time to get to the bottom. Like so. So what my initial plan was, is that I would go to edge mode and edit and edge mode and select the inner corners like this. I'm gonna show you why. So don't follow, again I'm just showing. Like this. I hold shift to select multiple. Then I wanted to control and B. And I wanted to change which way it went, and that's not doing what I want. Wait. I'm just playing a bit around with it. Yeah, control B. Yes. Or you go to edge and you select the bevel. Because we're using edges. You can see up here what we're using. Select mode edge. So you go to edge and then you get all the options. And we use the bevel. And that should work, hopefully. Why is it not doing what I want? Okay. So, yeah, this is not the way. So, forget that. This is what we're going to work with. Because I'm kind of getting... I want to do this a smart way. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah, we can do that. So, let me just double check. If it works. Let me just make sure. Okay, this is kind of a, you know, bad way to do it. But what I wanted to do, I'm gonna show you guys, was something like this. Maybe make a new edge here. And then we have a hole going in. It's not perfect, but it is a way. But it's not really how I imagine it would go. And this is how sometimes modeling is, that you're thinking, how should I do it? And you run into a little problem. And that's how it is right now. So I think, well, there's multiple ways to solve the problem. First off, let's move on, just so we don't get stuck too much. So we need legs for a table because it's right now it's floating. So we're gonna create something new. So let's go back to object mode. Everybody is there, and we need some legs. And let's just click on add or shift A, go to mesh and go to cube, and make a cube. And let's just move it and shape it so it matches with one side. So I'm gonna click G and X and G and Y till I get it here. I'm gonna click G and Z to move it up. And I'm gonna click S to scale it a bit. And it's not long enough, so I'm also gonna click S and Z to scale a bit upwards. And again, you can just do however you feel like. You don't have to make the same as me, but you just click again S and X in this case. Boolean, yeah, that's what I thought about as well, Brennan. But the Boolean has the tendency to fuck up the topology a lot, and I don't know if it's too much for beginners, but yeah, that's why we'll go back to it if we have time. Then we'll definitely do that. That's the idea. So right now I'm just clicking G and Z, G and Y, G, S and X. Just trying, yeah, thought the same thing though. And just want to get the shape right. Doesn't work because of applying scale. So I think if I applied scale, it should, it would have beveled differently. I can try. Let me try. I am always open to, let me try. Wait. Because I'm not a blender guy, so I will take every single piece of advice. No, it's the same. And I applied the scale. Also try without applying the scale. No, it's working as it should, but it's not what I wanted. Okay. Maybe I'm just a kid who wanted what I can get. Okay, back to the leg. Yes, we need to make it look a bit nicer, because right now it's just, you know, we need to make it inside the mesh and we need to give it a nicer shape. So let us click on our leg and go into edit mode. Select the bottom. You can't post here on YouTube, but you can post on the Discord. It's the link is in the YouTube channel, and you just go on the 3D Bootcamp. Oh, you have got this strange anomaly. Yeah, and that's because you beveled. I can see you beveled probably too much, and you did it without applying scale first. So it's moving, you know, wrongly here. And this anomaly is because you probably extruded, and then you right-clicked, and then you have two faces lying on top of each other. So you need to go back a bit. So let me show what is happening. So if I click extrude like this, let's say I move one. I'll rotate it. You see, I have the same. Oh, you can't see it, but wow. But I have an anomaly here, anomaly here as well, because I have a lot of meshes lying on top of each other. So make sure you don't have that. Hope that makes sense. So we'll go back a bit, apply the scale first, and then do the bevel. Okay, but let's move on to the leg. So I'm gonna go into edit mode. I'm gonna select all the vertices here at the bottom. I'm gonna move them, so G and Y, like this, and I also want it to be G and X, so it has this nice leg vibe going. And I can see they're also thinner at the bottom, so I'm also gonna click S to scale a bit. And these legs in particular look like they're soft on the front and straight on the back. So click on the edge here and then select these two edges, and we're going to use our trusted bevel like we did before. So Control and B, and let's not make too many. Something like this, and I have to change my profile back. 0.5. So now we have a nice shape. This looks really nice actually. And if you don't like it, you can always change it. You can select all these and you can scale them, you can do whatever. But make sure you have something like this. Oh, I have, yes. It's like in the setting, so, again, with this leg, I want to apply the scale. So I'm gonna click Control A, all transforms. So my pivot, the one that's here right now, it's gonna snap down here. Boom. Okay. And it's gonna get a tiny bit technical, but it's not that bad. So just follow along what I'm doing now. Just throw whatever you have in your hands and just see what I'm clicking on. So you want to click on your leg. Okay. You want to make sure you have the point here. If not, then you need to click Control and A, all transforms. Once you've done that, you want to go to this little wrench here. That is called modifiers, and this empty tab is going to show up. And you want to click Add Modifier, and immediately you want to search for mirror and find this one. You can also find manually by clicking Generate and Mirror. How do you make a rounder? Like I did with everything else, I used the bevel. So, but leave that for now. That's the way you select the edges. Like so, and you click Control B. See, it makes it rounder. But right now we want to use this mirror modifier. So again, you go to the wrench, you go to Add Modifier, Generate, and there's also a bevel one here actually, but the mirror. And we can immediately see what it does. It mirrors our leg, so we don't have to make several and try to, hit them exactly right. And over here we have some different tabs, and it's gonna say which axis it's gonna mirror on. And one axis is these lines here, the X axis, the Y axis, and the Z. So if I turn it off, it's gonna be turned off. If I turn the Y on, it's also gonna mirror it on the opposite side, which is super nifty. You can also mirror it on the Z, but that doesn't really make much sense here. And you can select it and do all kinds of weird stuff. But yeah, now we have 4 legs just by making one. Alright, I'm giving you guys a minute to do that. So click on your leg, Control A, and apply all transforms. So you have this dot right here, and then you can add the mirror modifier over here. Great, you are pro in no time. And the mirror modifier is super useful also just for something like this. You can easily cut it off. Maybe not this one, but this one. What? If I had a cleaner mesh, I could have cut it off and I could just work on one side and mirror that. That's also a normal workflow to do, especially in Blender. So we have 4 legs now. And the only thing we need now on our legs is a little thing at the bottom. And the shape on those are super simple. It is a round thing. So we're gonna use our trusted cylinder. But I'm gonna show one more thing. Because if I make a cylinder now, Shift A, Mesh and Cylinder, it's gonna spawn here. So I have to move it and all this stuff, blah blah. I don't want to do that. I just want to spawn where I want it. So this little guy is your 3D cursor, which is where stuff spawns. So if I put it over there, make a cube, it's gonna spawn there. And you can move this, and it's a super simple shortcut. You might have used it on accident already by misclicking. If you shift middle mouse, but instead shift right click, it's gonna move and snap to your the point you select. So if I snap it to my bottom leg here, and I click shift and A, and mesh and cylinder, I will make a cylinder exactly there. And now it's super easy for me to scale it. S and Z here, and G and Z here, and it's almost in place already. We'll still have to move it a bit, G and Y, but it's a lot easier than doing the whole thing. And the only thing I want to do now is I want to go to edit mode, select all the top vertices and scale them in a bit, because I can see this has been done here. And then I want to move it out a bit, something like that. You could also have a bit down, and you could, again, you can click, I'm just gonna show you guys like this. You can I to insert and E to extrude if you wanted to have like some shape. That's up to you. You can do whatever you want. You can also just leave it as a squashed cylinder. That might be easier for starters. And then you want to click Control A, all transforms, and make your mirror modifier again. So don't think too much about it. Just make a cylinder. It can literally be something like this. Boom. Just make this. Move it here. And then Control A, all transforms, and give it a mirror modifier with X and Y on. Okay. Let's see here. There's a no, never mind. Let's see if I can do something. Okay, so I'm gonna make a mirror modifier on this guy. Boom, and we have some legs. And yeah, now back to the holes. So right off the bat, I can see I made this way too thin. It needs to go a lot more in over the desk. So how do we fix that? I think I'm gonna do it the hard way. That's probably a smarter way. But I want to click on this top board here. I want to go to edit mode. And I want to go to X-ray mode up here. Alt and Z is the hotkey for that. So I can see through it. Because if I don't, then I can't select these at the bottom here. That means if I go to the top and I do this, the bottom will not be selected. Okay, super important. Blender has a function where you only select what you see. So right now I don't see the bottom, so I don't select them. If I go to X-ray, I select everything. Alright. Don't want to select everything. I want to select, again, click edit mode and 1, and select all these inner points that are kind of fucked up though. Yeah, and then I want to scale a bit more on the X, and this actually looks a lot more like a pool table. So and so. Yeah. Next up, I want these points here to go the hell away, like I showed earlier. These I would like to have them go. Come on. What did I do? There you go. I want these. It helps if I select all of them. There we go. Fooled by my own advice. G and Y, G and X. So something like this. Is kind of what I want. Because I just want the hole here. Basically. Then we'll make it nicer later. So, but I want it on all of them at the same time. So I'm going to try and do that. So I'm going to go back to X-ray. I'm going to select the 4 inner, on mine 4 inner vertices, not these 2 out here. These are no-go. And this might not work, but I'm going to try. And I will fail, and you guys will laugh. And it's gonna be a blast. Okay, so I'm just gonna see if I can scale. Not too bad. And scale a bit on the X. Okay, not too bad actually. It's decent. It's decent. Okay. Because now I have my opening here, which is what I wanted. And if I think it's too sharp, I can always wait. Can always fix it if I want to. But maybe this is actually nice enough. So I just need to create the opening here. But again, I select all these vertices. Not the end ones, but the middle ones. And when I've selected all the ends here, I will scale it. And maybe scale a bit in the X if it looks weird. So yeah, I know it looks super wonky, but we are almost there. I don't want to promise, but it could look like it. So what I want to do now, I'll go slow, and you can always watch it again. I'll go Shift A. Oh, first I want to use my 3D cursor up here because I want to spawn something here. And what is the shape of a hole? It is round, at least this hole. So we go Shift A, Mesh and Cylinder. I scale it down a bit. Move it up a bit. And I want this to match the size of the hole where I want. Which should be approximately, I don't know, like this. Maybe smaller, maybe something like this. Maybe. And then I'll move it. So I want this. This is gonna be where my hole is gonna be. So actually, wait. I'm gonna move this like this. Okay. Just doing something really fast. Something like this. And actually I can see I did not need to move these ones so far. Because the hole does not go in that far. Again, that is why we have reference. So we don't fuck it up like I just did. So I'm actually gonna scale these guys back in a bit. Gonna scale X. I just need them to be enough so there is a hole. And maybe I didn't need to do it in the first place either. Oh yeah. I have the cylinder. This is gonna be my hole. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just needs to look pretty good around here. Then I wanna Control A, apply all transforms, and I wanna mirror this guy. as well. So go to mirror and all axes. I guess E. No, we're not gonna extrude in this. It's a kind of extrude with another object, and that is called a boolean, and you will see what that is very shortly. So what you need to do with your mirror modifier is you need to click apply. So there's this little drop down menu in your modifier stack, and you click apply. And now it is not one that's mirrored, it's four. It's one object, basically. And I have to think here because this is something that usually messes up my head a bit. So what we want to do is we want to carve a hole in this guy with this guy. And there's a function called boolean that we use for that. I can see I should actually, before I start, I should make sure that I do it above ground, like so it doesn't go through, because the hole comes a bit later. So something like this. So what we want to do is we want to go to modifier. I can't remember which way it is, so we might have to do it twice. But I'm going to click on these first, modifier and generate and boolean. And you can see this also looks like something is taking a piece out of something else. So when I have the boolean, you need to give it an object to boolean. So if I click my table, nothing seems to happen right now, unless nothing. Let me try the other way. So now I'm gonna click on the table instead. I'm gonna create a boolean. I'm gonna select my cylinder, and that's even worse. Greetings from Colombia. First time watching one of your videos and really liked it. Great. Happy to hear. Thank you. Even though I'm messing it up a bit. Maybe I need to apply this one as well. I can't remember. I can never remember how to use these booleans. This seems like it should be the one. But for some reason it's not carving through. Okay, it seems to... maybe this? Let me see. No. I have applied the mirror modifier. That's the problem. So I'm very confused. Yeah, I tried both. I'm still couldn't back enough to move the graphics. Great, no worries. Just do that. Just apply it. Is that why? No, it doesn't work, Elena. It doesn't work. See? What did you do? Did you change the other? It's so annoying. But super fine that you have to go a bit back. It does take time. It's hard the first time. Don't worry too much about it. There we go. Okay, you're right, Elena. I just have to do it the right way. So, what Elena did, and then told the rest of us, is we have to click on the table, then select the cylinder as the object, and then you have to apply it for some reason, which is super dumb. So now when you move the cube, we have this, which is great. And we need to make another hole, so it goes into the mesh. So we have an actual hole going down. So I'm gonna delete everything else than the first one. Gonna delete delete. So I have one left again. Then I want to scale it down. First I want to go to object, set origin and origin to geometry. So it's here again. I want to scale it down. And now I want to make the hole in here. And maybe I'll select the bottom here in X-ray, of course, and I will scale it out so I can have a bit of a nicer shape. Maybe a bit smaller. I don't know if this is the right way. Should just use the other one? No, I'm a bit confused as to what I want. Okay, so the thing I forgot is that the hole actually goes straight and then round. So I needed to make it a bit longer for it not to look weird. So I'm gonna redo. I'm gonna go back to I have 4, and then I will just put it inside the table. I will take these 2 tables and I will join them or merge them by clicking Control J. So again, I click on the main and the main C1, Control J. Then I make a new boolean. Select this as the object and apply. And now we have some holes. Don't know if they're fugly or not, but they're there. Could always make it bigger or something. And then you can take this one. You could take and move it. So this is a problem with the boolean. It really looks horrible. This is not good topology. If you want to smooth this, it's gonna be you know. Oh, now I've crashed my Blender. Yeah, this is what you get. So this is bad. You will want to clean this up afterwards, but this is what we have. And the most important thing is that you guys got to see the different tools, and there is 100% a better way to do this, or use them smarter, the different tools. But at least I feel like we have something that reminds of a table, and you could always can I do that now? You can always start adding again booleans here if you want to. So you can go to not that one. You can make a cylinder. You can rotate it 90 degrees. Oh, there you go. Scale it, and then again you can make a boolean. Select this and apply it, and you would have a hole there too. Bool tools, I don't know that one. That's probably an add-on again, most likely. I imagine. Is it making it better, the boolean or something? While I wait, I'm just gonna make some spheres. So I make a sphere, make it decently small, and I will use another default add-on, Bool Tools. Where do you find it? I've never heard of it. Activate. Oh, it's a. No, it's not a default. You have to download it first. It's easy to download. Yeah, I know that, but. Cool. I'll look into that for next time. Thank you. Question is why it is. Oh well. I'll figure it out. Anyways, I want to make a few. Oh, I fucked up. I was in edit mode when I created this, and then it merges it automatically. So I want to make it outside of edit mode. Rookie mistake. Right there. I still make them so bad. Okay, I want to try a new modifier. I made a sphere. I'm gonna go generate. I'm gonna go array. And I'm just gonna go 4. And I will move it a bit. I will shift D. And I will go to 3. And yeah. Yes, I think there is. I don't know it though. I've only just, you know, done it again and again and again. But because even if there is, I don't know if I would use it. Because it's a bit of a hassle to sit with a cheat sheet. But I think if you Google Blender shortcut cheat sheet, I am pretty sure you will find it. Because there is a lot. And a lot of Blender is shortcuts. You can find a lot of it up here. Like a lot of it. Oh, that's the boolean. Okay, I'll use that next time. Yes, I would say so. But it comes fast. For sure. Very fast. Yeah, same Renan. I always do it. Every single time. Every time. Okay, again, guys, I'm not doing anything new here. I'm just duplicating. And of course the array is a bit new, but that it looks pretty simple. You just click how many you want. And yeah. It happens in the best families. Thank you. I'll try to remember that one. Cylinder, rotate X 90. And now I will have a pool cue. This is just extra, guys. I was kind of thinking we were done. Okay. See here. Oh yeah, it's called. I remember. So there is something called face, extrude face along normals, which is not working. Extrude. Why is it normal so far? There we go. A pool cue. It's pretty fat, but I'll take it. It looks super weird. Nice. And if you want to finish up, you can go to, I'm not going to show it today, gonna be something next time, and material tab, and you can go to the shaded view, and if you want, you can assign materials. So I can say green. Oh, I can go white. Wait, come here. And then make a new one, make that green, and you can go assign, boom, pool table, right there. It's pretty rough, but yeah, at least we have something that looks like a pool table, a bit. So that was it for today, guys. Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that this didn't work as I planned. So this is pretty scuffed. I will look into doing it a bit better next time. But you get the idea. We create multiple objects, we stack them on top of each other, and then we try to make a nice shape here. Next time. But hopefully you got a box and some legs, and you got to use some modifiers, you got to use a bevel, you got to use an extrude, and create some objects. And that's what it is about today. We just want to get you started on these things. So if you made something good, I will be impressed, because this is what I made. So yeah, don't look too much into it. I probably want to do something. Never mind. What we do normally, you missed the worst. Good. Well, I shouldn't be the one messing up the most. Hopefully, then I should pack my things. But yeah, post it here in the Blender, the Discord channel, if you want to. So usually what we do is we take a screen dump. So I have mine here. You can add some nice light if you want. You can also not. And then you can do a little print screen. There you go. Save it. And throw it up in the Discord. And if you want some feedback or you had some questions, now I have time to answer them. And then we'll call it a day. So let's see. Dingo's made a hammer real quick. Very nice. Good job. Did you use the circularized thing up here? Or did you just force it? Because it looks like you used it a bit. And this one we looked at. I think of the basics. Yes, for sure. Definitely. Got the insert, got the extrude, got the shape. That's also 10 minutes ago. I had to start over the lesson. Not good enough to freestyle fixes. Yeah, same. What I usually do if I fuck something up is I do it again. Fixes are very hard sometimes, and sometimes they take more time than just redoing it, especially if we didn't get further on this. Alright, let's go. This looks really good. So that's just how I probably should have done the boolean. Just one big squash down. Because even though it's not accurate to the reference, it still looks nicer. And then he did some nice, I guess this is extrusions on top. Looks really good. For sure. I like it. So both a hammer and a pool table, you're just working hard. Huge heart for me. This is my bullshit. Billis, let's see. Oh yeah, very nice. It looks really good. Got the holes, got the cue, got the balls, got the bevels. It's a very, very good start for low poly. We just have to figure out a bit more with these edges, because we of course want them later on to be, more accurate to the reference, and we want them to have the nice edges and stuff like that, because a pool table has a lot of, cavities and a lot of extra stuff, some you need to think ahead of, but it's tricky. So I just went with something that was a bit difficult. Doing Blender for a year and 4 days. Okay, cool. Good job for keeping it up then. Awesome. So this is also after a year of Blender, you actually have surplus to do multiple things, right? Okay, let's go. Looks good. The shape is there. This is bigger. Made some balls. Made some holes. Is that you're one of the new people today? Okay. I'm very impressed that you got this far then. Huge congratulations. You also, even though I just freestyled this, you still did it. So of course there's some scale issues that, okay, how big is this compared to this or the balls, but you also had to follow along really fast, and it's not something you should think about now. But later on, when you make stuff, you want to make it so it looks like everything belongs in the scene. But don't worry about it. It's just so you know. And you can probably tell as well. But huge congrats. Awesome. Have the 8-ball ready to go in the corner, because let's face it, that's the one I'd hit first. I'd love to play pool with you, then it'd be fun to just enjoy the victory. Damn. Okay, did you have time to also... Did you steal this, or did you just make it with different colors? I really like the coloring on the cube. That looks pretty realistic, especially up here. Very, very nice. I can definitely tell that you've done it before. Let's go. I will say I miss my Maya when I'm here, because in Maya I feel like I'm a guru now. I feel like whatever people ask, I can always just, oh, this is it, or here you do this, or there's this function. In Blender, there's a lot to do in Blender. It's super good for modeling especially, but I'm just not, it's not my main software, so it's a lot sometimes. But I feel like it's gotten a lot better as well with all the bootcamps. You see, free design is lots of fun. Yeah, it really is. What's this? Oh, okay. Is that a freestyle table? Definitely a lot of legs. It looks cool. But when you get the basic guys, it's gonna be so much more fun, because, well, it's also fun to learn them, but when you know, okay, I can just bevel this here, or I can now want to make 10 football and 10 tables of this. Wait. What's happening? Why is it doing that? Oh, I know why. No? Oh, that's why. Let me just show what I mean. So now, let's say I want to make multiple of these. So I just, just make an array. Bam. I can also make it as in a circle, and I can change the radius. And now I have 5. And this you can use for like whatever you want. There's a lot of options here. This kind of looks cool. So yeah, once you get used to, or because I don't actually know how to do this in Maya this fast. So just know your software and it's gonna be awesome. First time. Well, awesome you're here. I made it, my table was pretty basic, so I had a little bit of time. Okay, so you just fucked the hard part and then went to the nice part. I see how it goes. Pentagram tables, exactly. And we can make infinite, we can make 100. How do you like that? Looks like bathtubs from here. Okay, Renan. Yeah, okay. And I like it, guys, that you try to apply the lighting every time, because it does look so much more satisfying to watch, even if it's a low poly model. And nice holes here, for sure. So what we could have done is we could have made the holes in just a flat cube, and then we could have built up from there, and instead of doing the other way around. That would have probably been better in hindsight. But hey, everybody can see what this is. So I think for an hour to do something this difficult, you all nailed it pretty well. Because we can definitely see what we're trying to go for. And in start, that's just all you want. You just want it to look like something. It does look kind of evil. Nice, guys. Anything else? Any questions? Something? Let me know. Remember, we have the open house coming up next week. CADA open house. I think so. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. If you guys someone wants to come and see the school or talk to a teacher or whatever, I might be there. I hope. But yeah, that's it. It's an online. I wish, said no, but you can always write to Adam. He's our head of education, and he'll gladly talk to you and on a Teams call or a Zoom meeting or whatever. He did that with me and helped me a lot to get in, actually, because I knew this much 3D when I started, and here I am, because yeah, I learned, and then I applied, and then I didn't get in, and then I applied again, and then I got in. So yeah. But this is all for today. We will be signing off, and next week we will be doing some texturing. I think I will make a better table for next time that we can use. That's my idea, at least, so we can do different kind of textures. Because then we can both do some simple coloring on the balls. We can do some wood texture on the on what's it called, the main table. Do some metal shading on these, and some maybe not grass, but like fake grass on the actual table. We can also play around with adding labels and stuff. So I think this could be a good texturing object. And if you liked hand painting, you can of course hand paint it. Lots of options. So thank you all for today. Thank you new people for joining as well. I hope it was okay. Run it back again, and if you have some extra things you need to go over. Thank you so much to start from beginning. Yes, we always start like no one's been here before. So next time I'm also gonna show how to navigate. I'm gonna, treat you gently. So you don't have to follow every time. You can just come in for the what's it called? The sculpting in 2 weeks as well. You don't have to come for the texturing next week. But thank you. Glad you guys enjoyed it. And thank you, Renan and Elena, for the stuff. It's super awesome. You guys have made really cool shit. Especially with the amount of time that you have doing these bootcamps. Kind of amazed you can. I can't make anything, but yeah. So I think it's gonna be used. Definitely. You're welcome, guys. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go home. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Bye bye.